各位亲爱的观众，我是傅德瑞。今天我们有一个特别来宾，我 have a special guest, Dr. Janice Beal, and she's here to talk to us a little bit about her professional, what she does, and of course, we're going to ask her. Okay, first, good to see you today.
Hi, how you doing? Thank you for having me today.
Yes. Well, Dr. Beal, would you tell us about what kind of medical degree you have in training and exactly what those are?
Okay, I have a doctorate degree in counseling and guidance and psychology. I have been practicing it for over almost 20 years now. So specializing in children, adolescents, and adults, providing mental health and substance abuse counseling for both populations. So.
Well, would you tell us a little about what is substance abuse? Because we heard a lot of those kind of, information, but we really want to know more.
Yes, there are differences as far as, first I'd like to say that not everyone who uses drugs becomes addicted or abuses drugs and alcohol. It depends on the level of usage that really makes a difference as far as what people do. However, when it becomes abusive is when a person is no longer able to function and carry on the day-to-day activities, and it becomes to affect what they're doing. That means whether they're using alcohol, which is considered to be a drug that most people don't really think of as a drug, but it is a drug, and whether it's illegal drugs or prescription type drugs. All of those things fall in the category of what could be abusive for some people.
I see. Well, what kind of cure do we have out there, to taking care of some of these problems people have, addictions and so forth,
Well, once a person becomes addicted or dependent on a substance, there are numerous types of treatments that are available depending on the usage and what type of drug they're actually using. Whether they could be using alcohol, there's AA groups, and there's different types of groups. But in order to find out information for treatment, a person could either go to our website, which is www.bealcounseling.org, or they could call Texas Alcohol and Drug Abuse Council, or they could go to one of the leading hospitals within the city, which is Memorial Hermann, which has a very good treatment program as well. So there are numerous programs that a person could seek out help just by putting that information in the internet, and they'll be able to find what they're looking for based on what type of drugs they're trying to actually cease using.
Well, I heard lots of very good things about Memorial Hermann's project. They have a very good recovery center. Well, next, I have a question about what do the children react to the parents who is substance abuse? I know there is a big problem there. So what are we trying to do, or what's the kids like, to react to those problems?
Okay. Well, children are affected when a parent does something, especially when they use drugs or alcohol. And depending on the type of drugs or alcohol, it has an impact on the family no matter what. And people tend to respond within the family based on how the parent is responding and what the parent is doing. So if a parent's using or abusing drugs, whether they're 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be able to take care of their responsibilities. So therefore, they're not being able to provide for the child in an effective way. So therefore, it has a major impact on the family and the child. And the child starts to respond like that, and we usually see how they respond basically at school by their behavior and what takes place. So it's really difficult on the child when a parent uses or abuses any type of drugs.
So where do we can get some help, in the community immediately, where they can turn to get some kind of assistance?
Well, within the community, there are different agencies. There are, like I said, our website that you can go to and find out information, and we'll give you different information as far as places to look for or contacting the office and things of that nature.
Well, also I heard about, there's a wonderful children's book you created. And would you tell us about, the children's book? And I heard it's a coloring book, so it should be really fun. Will you tell us about?
Well, I just so happen to have a copy of it, so that's the reason why I smile. But the name of the book is called A Boy Named Rocky. And Rocky, it's a coloring book for children of incarcerated parents. And the reason why it's a special book is the fact that Rocky's mother becomes addicted to drugs. And because she becomes addicted, she starts selling drugs. And of course, she gets in trouble because her behavior has caused her to be able to not function. And Rocky has to go through all the emotions that children go through when they lose a parent, or whether that's through death or through incarceration, as far as the feelings of guilt, the grieving process of the loss, anger, which is a very strong emotion that most children feel when something happens to them they have no control over, right, as well as depression and all types of emotional and behavioral disorders that you'll see Rocky start to exhibit in school and around his peers because of the fact of what's happened to him. The coloring book is an excellent tool because through coloring, children are allowed to actually express what's going on.
I see.
And they use different colors to talk about it.
Yeah.
It was co-authored with Judge Vanessa Gilmore, so it's an excellent tool to utilize. And it can also be found on our website, www.fortheloveofkids.com.
And I know you're going to start a new program. Would you tell us just real quick about that? What's coming up for you?
Oh, yes. I'm excited. Thank you for asking. We're starting a new program called Behavioral Health Matters with Dr. Janice Marie, which is, of course, me. So it's going to be a new program to deal with all the behavioral and emotional type of disorders. And I'll have several guests, very exciting guests, to talk about different substance abuse, addiction, treatment, mental health concerns, ADHD. So it'll be fabulous. So please tell your audience to listen.
Well, dear audience, our time is up. But thank you for Dr. Janice Beal talking with us. And don't forget to tune in next week. And don't forget to check out Dr. Janice Beal's new program. Okay? Talk to you soon next time.